So now we have the coding explanation, which here is the full code in case you want to just look at that right now. And by the way, that final sample case, the answers were actually from the code, just to let you know. And here we're going to be copy and pasting in, oh, wrong thing. Here we're going to be copy and pasting in this first part over here. Okay, we are always going to be starting with the import sys because in Python, which is generally slower than Java and C++, you must salvage all of the time you can get, and the sys.standout.readline, sys.standin.readline and sys.standout.write are significantly faster than Python's built-in functions, input and print. So now we have the define onRamp, current next, where current is a list of, where current is an array where the first value, or indice 0, is going to be the minimum range and indice 1 is going to be the maximum range. Next is the ramp that we are currently on and its minimum and maximum range. So for example, if we go back to the whiteboard here, if we were going to be looking at like going forward, we are at this point, okay, and the current range would be 812, and the next would be 511 because that is the next ramp that's coming on. So now this current and next logic is going to be used in all three of these, and as you could probably guess by the naming, this is how the code handles the range for on-ramp, off-ramp, and none-ramp. So after receiving the two values, current and next, current indice 0 is going to be current indice 0 added with next indice 0, because for an on-ramp, again, you want to have the biggest possible range, so you're adding the minimum value with a minimum value and a maximum value with the maximum value. Remember to return the current array at the end of the script. So now we have the off-ramp, and we have, again, current and next. And for this one, don't mind this first part here, the max 0, I will get to that shortly. We have the current indice 0 is going to be equal to current indice 0 subtracted by next indice 1, because remember, this part will be current's minimum, and if we want the biggest possible range, we will be subtracting the off-ramp's maximum to get the smallest possible. The inverse logic goes for the maximum value of current, and here, because this is subtraction, we have a safeguard using max 0, just in case it goes below negative, as we saw in the second example case that was on the whiteboard, where if it went into the negatives, we defaulted to 0. We're returning current again. So here, for the final ramp, which is a none ramp, which is no off, no on, we again have current and next, and we're going to current indice 0. We have a maximum of either current 0 or next 0. The reason we have a max is to see we do want the biggest possible range, but if we have two none ramps, if we have a none ramp, it basically means that we need to satisfy your current range and the none ramp's range, which is why we have a max to find the thing that will satisfy both of them, and for the maximum value, we have a min, which will satisfy the current range and the none ramp's range. It's a bit counterintuitive, but it will make sense. We are now returning current, and this is the the hardest part of the code to understand because the logic for this problem is a bit funky. So now moving on to the next part, we have this. Okay, we're starting our solution, and here we have a n equals sys.standin.readline.strip, and if we go to this problem, we see that the first thing that you read is going to be 4. which is the amount of ramps there are on the highway. So we take the int of n, which is actually, you could just have an int function here, but you could just do two separate things. We now make a sensors array, and we start a for loop for I in range n, which will be the same as 0n, it's just less words. ABC equals sys.stand-in.readline.split, which is the quickest way to have three variables from a input. So for example, if we go on to this, we have a on 1 1. So A would be on, B would be 1, C would be 1. Keep in mind that these three will all be strings, which is why we have a sensors.append A and B and C. Keep in mind that we're not taking the int of A because we want that to stay a string. This is literally just the for loop for keeping a array of all of the ramps. Okay. Next part, so now we have current, which is -999 and 999. This is going to be the range, and the reason we have such small and big numbers is because we basically want these two to represent infinity, but using a float of infinity is a bit risky in this situation because we don't want floats in our final number, which is why we're just using a negative, a very large negative number and a very large positive number. We have a next, which is an array, which we will set as 0, 0 for now, and we have a for I in sensors, where next is equal to I1, I2, because sensors has a A, B, and C, so we want to have the B and C, which if you look at the first one or the second one, it would be 10, 14. So now that we have the next range and we have the current range that we set up here, we're going to be checking if A is on, off, or none. And because we coded all of the functions up here, they do the heavy lifting for us and we don't have to do anything. Skipping over to here, this is basically, we're just storing the variable for what current will be. And the reason we can get away with using -999,999 here is because our safeguards in the off-ramp here will actually produce a good value, and we don't need to search for the none ramp because the none ramp uses a logic where if the maximum and minimum are going to be decided depending on what the two values are. And because these two values are either ridiculously big or ridiculously small, they really won't have any chance of making it into the current range. So here we have them added up into a range stored in a variable, and we are moving on to the next part. Alright, starting from a blank slate like we did in the examples, we are going to be iterating through the list sensors reversed. So if we were using this example, I would actually be off 2, 3, none 11, 15, none 10, 14, and on 1, 1. Again, going reversed. So we have next I1, I2 using the same logic, and here's the tricky part. We're treating on as an off ramp and off as an on ramp. Again, none stays the same, so it is okay. So, as explained in the example, on is going to be treated as an off ramp because we are moving backwards, and same goes for the off ramp. So now we're tracking the variable for the flow of traffic before, and this giant thing is just gonna make the range. We're just changing this to a string, getting an integer of all of this, a max of 0 or current 0. This max here is a safeguard just in case something goes wrong, which it shouldn't, and we're just combining these two values. Okay, And now for the last part of this, we have this sys.standout.write, flow before, make sure to add the new line here, and a flow after. Now we run the solution, and boom, what do you know? Oops. What do you know? We get a 1013.812, and the answer is 1013.812. We are going to download this, or if you'd rather, you can just copy and paste all of this. It does not matter. And we can copy and paste all of this into here. Now, going down, we submit code. And as you can see, we get a 100 out of 100. So that will be it for today's problem for week 2, measuring traffic. As you can tell, I did skip 2 because those were easy and another normal problem. So next time we will be doing the hardest difficulty for week 2, stuck in a rut. Until then, I will see you next time, and goodbye.